Welcome everyone to the EGFC Collegiate Power Series. I'm Tenrek. With me is no one. But you know what? You and I, together, we can have fun ourselves. We're hopping into Group Stage 3, and the teams are already locked and loaded. They're ready to get going, and I hope you and I are too. It's between Georgetown Gaming and Fairfield University Esports. Now, these two teams, they couldn't be farther apart on this bracket right now. Georgetown Gaming, they've only dropped 3 rounds total on both of the maps they've played against both of the teams that Fairfield has already lost to. That's right, it's your 2-0 versus your 0-2. Taking it to Breeze. This was the choice of Fairfield, and Georgetown chose to start on defense. Now, these metas, these comps are actually a little bit different than what you've seen before. Laughing at Onions, particularly from Fairfield, kind of stands out to me more than anything on the Sage, while Lavender is sitting on that Reyna. So a couple different approach tools on either side, but as Fairfield is going to start out with that attack, I expect a lot more B approaches than you would normally see, especially in that early game. I feel like that Sage wall is going to do a lot more on that end. But regardless, it's a pistol round, so still anything can happen at any little point in time. Georgetown's defense has just been so impeccable right now, but hey, so is their offense. When you look at the numbers, it really pays off, and it's really easy to see that Georgetown has just been so dominant over the course of this group stage so far, and they still have 3 more games to play on stream today. 1 against Fairfield, and then 1 against each of the other teams that they've already beat. Against Marist, they dropped 2, and against Canisius, they only dropped 1 single round, which is absolutely incredible from them. So we head in round number 1, Horatio leading the pack through Cave on A site with that Headhunter. Fairfield looking to do a lot to start things off. Chambers on both sides, though, as is a Viper, so there's going to be a lot of utility thrown at the wall, regardless of what round it is, and there's going to be a lot of free plants coming off due to all the obstruction that's coming through on the site. But Grifter's going to be the one to find that first pick. Kaz, though, on the defensive, finding 2 with that Headhunter, trying to find another one over the wall, does succeed, and that's the sign to move in onto that spike right behind the pyramids. Horatio still peeking behind that toxic screen, and Grifter a little farther back right now. Spike is still not planted yet. Just on down, stuck in this corner right now. Remaining 2 members going to have a lot of trouble finding him, especially if Grifter can't land his shots, but they do find one on a Stormy. And oh, it looks like they find an easy kill on a Moist Flower as well. That Owl Drone leaving them very vulnerable, but Kaz and Lavender could finish things off, and that's round 1 going to Georgetown at the moment. Seems that Fairfield is kind of indecisive as to where they're going right now, but even when they have made a decision, it's just been absolutely stopped by Kaz. I think I'm getting a message from some prod right now. I think I have another gamer online now. It's Worse Cast, I believe. Good to see you on here, man. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I get a break, but while we get you set up, let's head into this second round. Georgetown, they have that momentum. They have their Spectres. They're ready to jump into this defense, and they're more confident in their spread now that they have those better guns. They're okay with Kaz holding that shoot down, and Lavender, the only one on A site right now, is all 5 members of Fairfield are looking to attack through A site at the moment. Lavender going to try and enter with this Leer potentially. No, just a little bit of a bluffing tool to scare Fairfield off, but the steps are heard, and Ratio's going to fall. Grifter with the shorty with the turnaround, though. It's available. Kaz has now gotten enough signs, but Salem, along with the rest of Fairfield, can spray and pray, get the damage done. Now a 4v3. The spike will get planted behind the pyramids. Pang with that Marshal will find Fatty, but all the other 3 members are now stuck behind this pyramid. You have a little bit of advantage on this fight, but Stormy is able to draw Salem out with the snake bite, and oh! Laughing at Onions was trying to go for a bit of a heal, but got caught out, and Pang can get the finisher. Georgetown able to get a quick second round down. It was destined to be, but the question was how dominantly, and the answer is, with 3 members still online, very impressive from them. You can already see how they've played better than these previous 2 opponents that were able to beat Fairfield. How far will this gap open before Fairfield can grab a round? This seems to be one of the big ones that can always take the momentum back. That 3rd round bonus, always an important one, but Onions and Fatty have done so little. They're left to Guardians rather than Vandals or Phantoms. As long as they land their shots, though, they won't prove consequential. So all 5 members of Fairfield are looking to barrel through mid. At least at first glance, but That might change very quickly. A lot of time, a lot of open space to play with. On Breeze. Everyone on mid. Trying to find a way in. Toxic screen up to block away. A side looks to be where they'll go through double doors this time. So no one can, from Nest, can get a solid perch and peek over, find anybody. That's going to make Moist Flower rotate over.
Here.
Well as Lavender. Hang is waiting on those steps, but nobody's in the sightline yet. They don't really hear each other, but Hang at the very least knows that someone is around and can pop up at any moment, especially with that toxic screen back up. Find this right sideline, and he does find Scripter with the Vandal. Is able to tailwind back with 79 health after getting a couple more pot shots, but Fatty can get the finisher off. Ians is gonna go for this plant, but Kaz is all the way back in the cave. They've gotten the full flank going. Fatty, though, now up to 3 kills with that Guardian, and now the only member left is Kaz is still in that cave going uncontested, and is able to find kill number 3. And that is no bonus round going the way of Fairfield. Georgetown already finding so much momentum at the moment. They have enough economy to buy back their guns. Fatty is able to get another Guardian, but honestly, it might not even be worth it. It's back to a pistol round, and Worst, I believe we finally have you set up. Welcome to the cast, man.
Believe so. Hello. Nice to finally be here, hopping on for some Valorant right now. And yes, for everyone at home, just now hearing my voice, I am Worstcasts, and I'm going to be joining Tenrec here to try and cover this game. I actually did cover these same teams yesterday as well, and so far I'm kind of seeing Georgetown in the same kind of vein that I saw them yesterday. A very dominant team in their group and extremely strong. So I'm trying to continue that here in the second day.
No, Georgetown, they've absolutely found their groove, and they're not going to stop running with it until they've won this group outright. And they still have a couple matches to play to get that message through the rest of these teams' skulls that, hey, they came to play and they came to win. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Fairfield's going to go for as much of a cut down as possible with this eco. Venom screen to approach again, and Horatio's going to get the plant off. So there's a couple credits right there to get the 5th round rolling, but how much damage can they do on this 4th? The answer is at least 1 kill, as Horatio can trade out against Cass for Lavender, and behind those pyramids, find a 3rd and a 4th. Horatio could get an ace here in this 4th round, turn things around so very quickly. Stormy, the last one remaining up in double doors, has to get a 3K in order to keep this goose egg on the roster of Fairfield. Here's your first one on Onion, so no heal available for the remaining 2, and Horatio is at low health. Can Stormy peek around this corner on the cooldown of the rendezvous? Stormy finds him and is turning into the cave to find Grifter, but has to reload! Grifter can find the final shots, and Fairfield has taken their first round.
Yes, and right there, Fairfield, they'll be taking their first round, now trying to get themselves on the board economically as well as just in the round total as a whole. They're going to have some buys now available to them. And for right now, you are going to see some damage come out here. Georgetown not going to have as comfortable an economic lead as they would want. Obviously, with that chamber, doesn't quite need to expend as many credits because they have those kind of super stronger weapons that can come out for them. But it's going to be interesting to see if you want to play, let's break the economy of Georgetown.
Yeah, Pang has that Blade Storm as well, so with the economic bank, you can potentially compensate. Some Tour de Force is active as well, but Lavender doesn't need a Tour de Force. All you need is some solid aim, and some people walking right down your sightline, and you can find 2 right out the gate. Already a 3v5, make that a 2v4 as Pang finds Salem, and Horatio finally finds some connection with that ultimate. Meanwhile, Kaz still hasn't found anything. Come through on the backside to compensate for whatever sightlines may not be overtaken by the rest of the defenders, but this push might look to be just about over. Georgetown faltering once. They don't want to let it happen again.
Not at all. You want to keep the economy in your favor right now. You can't lose any guns in such a clear-cut round for yourselves. Any kills now here for Fairfield is just kind of a sting in Georgetown's back, as they just want to keep as many guns as possible and keep the ball rolling right now. Can they get in? It's going to be Lavender to try and shut it down, and they're going to try it. Oh, the spray doesn't go the first time. They are going to follow up. Find the kill on Horatio. Dismissing out, trying to find Laughing at Onions. The duel does not go their ways. The backstab does come in from Stormy, and that will seal that round and stop any momentum Fairfield was building.
Yeah, Lavender had enough space to be able to compensate when that spray failed the first time. Peng now able to get an operator here. It's that momentum that Georgetown has been working with those first 3 rounds that are now paying off even more. Fairfield, they're going to have to resort to more incremental play, and with their ult starting to build up, they're going to have to find good times to use them. That res is going to come in a huge play on a solid B push, I think, but beyond that, the question is, when can the Hunter's Fury come into use when the defense stays so spread for such a long time? When can the Blade Storm come in when otherwise your save rounds are so like non-lucrative a lot of the time? And there's already 2 blades gone. As Salem is gonna pop it, but the Rendezvous makes sure that Kaz gets out with nary a scratch.
Gonna be pushing forward. Moist is the one to play contact here. Location revealed. Gonna be trying to drone. Couldn't get a push out here. The shotgun gonna stop that in its tracks. The drone. No information gathered. Kaz here now playing slow. It's gonna be Fatty with the sheriff shot to the head, shutting down chamber. But Moist, they're not aware, and they get the 1 pick with the traded out, and Peng is there as well to surprise them from the side. Now they're pinched. Can they get out of the situation? They only have these small arms fire right now. Almost there for Laughing Onions, but not quite. A nice pinch coming in Halls, but it was dangerous there for a second as the utility for Fairfield shut down the information gathering for Moist.
I mean, another generally free round there for Georgetown. I mean, they had the better guns. They have the much better economy. Now, Fairfield trying to grapple towards a buy this time. But again, they do so little on these save rounds. They clamor for just little enough to buy rifles. But sometimes you don't get the rifles you may want. Sometimes you just don't have enough. And sometimes you got to resort to Guardians and Lights. In this round 7, we're more than halfway done with this swap, and I don't think Fairfield has had a full arsenal a single round yet. I don't think that they're going to start now. Moist trading out on mid, and Ratio, with the help of Laughing at Onions, rezzing up Salem, is going to be able to make it a 5v3 on this attack right through mid, but they're taking too much time rotating back around through A, and Peng is able to find Horatio because of it. Toxic Screen now goes up to cover what's left. They're gonna try to engage on this, but Lavender's able to find Grifter and Salem just as the Viper's pit goes up. Oh, that's tragic! Now a 2v2 as the defenders are trying to rotate back around. Fatty gonna be up on Nest. This could be a gigantic sightline here.
This is the time! They get the 2 spray. The headshots coming in. The taps ring true for Fatty. And now Fairfield, once again, gonna have the operators in their hands. Should be going over to Salem or Horatio. Looks like Horatio is the beneficiary as the Tour de Force is not up and available. Want to get that into their hands as soon as possible. And now they can start maybe really starting to do some economic damage this next round. You have Peng buying up the operator again next round. Not going to have that many credits to try and spend. Doesn't even have the knives because they popped it this round. So going to be a real big problem for Peng if they lose that operator this round and trying to buy up next. But for now, going to be holding long sight line, trying to take down anyone who picks. If it's the Astra, this could be disastrous. Well, not the Astra.
This round could be the crippler, the kryptonite. The members of Georgetown, so long as Fairfield does what they were given the tools to do. Being able to make sure that at least one member can't get the job done. And now that the spike is down, the spike isn't down yet. Moist is able to pull out a Hunter's Fury and finds Laughing at Onions. Now a 5v2. Hey, that's the score too. Lavender taking out Grifter. Fatty's stuck in tube now. This will not be the kryptonite. Indeed, Superman still prevails. Georgetown will probably be able to pick this up. Not it. It's gonna take a second, but they'll find Fatty here. Question is, how many people will they lose trying to get him?
At least. Any mistimed peek from anyone could be their death, but no. Lavender, always so dependable, so reliable for them. He's gonna get that kill. Stop that Zoe from doing any more damage, and now a flawless coming out. And that's exactly what you need here. You have some breathing room. If Fairfield pulls out another round, surprisingly on 50 perhaps, if these sheriffs do come online, and you always can never underestimate how dangerous these sheriffs can be. You can't take them lightly. Just one tap to the head and you're now down 3,900 credits, or even more in some cases, so you have to play around them very carefully. But they're going to have a buffer for it. They're going to have money for the next round and potentially the round after. So, Georgetown is sitting pretty right now on this defensive side of Breeze. typically map is considered attacker-sided. That might be changing. The winds might be changing on that foot, but for the history of this map has been attacker-sided.
Fairfield step stool round once more. How much can they do this time? Lot to back things up to get the plant off for free, and a Hunter's Fury actually very early to potentially find Pang in the back, and you find a little bit of damage on the last swipe, but doesn't finish them off. Horatio now gone behind the pyramid. Salem a bit stuck. Pang gets shock bolted out thanks to the remaining damage off of that Hunter's Fury. Lavender once again though going absolutely bonkers. This Vandal, this just might be a free defusal here. Yeah, Grifter's too far away. Let's find one with the snake bite. Lavender's down, but Stormy didn't get the finisher. 2 fall, but Georgetown takes round number 9.
Yep, round number 9. Gonna be their way. In terms of a force, or like an eco right there, for Fairfield, not the worst. You get two picks off, and the spike down. A little bit extra credits in your pocket. A little bit of extra pressure onto Georgetown, but it's not gonna affect them too much. Like I said, they have money in the bank. Lavender is going to get gifted, and now everyone looks very even on credits. They're going to have money for days right now, and Fairfield wants to get back into this round. Maybe 8-4, 7-5 is the best they can hope for, but 8-4 is probably more doable. They're going to really have to start getting these rounds, getting these executes going. Looks like a 4-man mid. Making an info play over to B main, but 4 mid peak going to maybe contain Lavender here.
This be the one to finally get an economy going. Lavender says, hell no! Salem falls once more, and the initial very quick attack on double doors is at very least faltered temporarily. Lavender still holding that down as well, and Moist wins the trade war against Fatty. Barely takes a lick of damage. Actually doesn't take any at all. And upon a second leer, Lavender can find kill number 2 onto Grifter. Tour de force from Horatio hasn't found any connection. He just hasn't been given the space yet. Lavender swiping again, swinging wide this time, finding Horatio laughing, can finally trade out, but Moist can get the finisher, and yet again, it is not meant to be. Fairfield losing another rifle round. They could have another one right after its tracks.
Yes, and it's kind of the squeeze has been put on Fairfield right now in terms of this defense. They've not been allowed to do almost anything, and sorry about that, but they haven't been able to do almost anything right here to get any momentum going. Every time they get around, it's instantly repelled by Georgetown the next.
Fairfield has already dropped more maps than Canisius did against Georgetown. And they find 3 and get more than either team that's played Georgetown thus far. In fact, that'd be the amount of rounds combined. It would double the maps dropped by Georgetown, and with a stunning roster like this, that seems like an achievement in itself. Fairfield gonna rotate all the way back from T-spawn to what appears to be either mid or east side, but Lavender once again holding so forward, so very close, so very near and dear. Can find one. Horatio trades it out with the Headhunter. Now a 4v3.
3-3. I'm gonna say you could probably try to play this slow here if you're Fairfield. That's still a dangerous numbers, but not gonna happen.
Yeah, Spike is dropped now, and Grifter, the only one left, gets found out by Moist, and it's another easy round for Georgetown. They went for a bit of a hybrid there, Fairfield. It feels like they just haven't found the round where they make the full-on decision, hey, this is the round when we need to get a leg up. This is the round where we buy everything. There's always like 4 members that go in hard, and then maybe 1 or 2 that kind of opt for either a Guardian or a Sheriff with heavies, or a Vandal with lights or something like that. It feels a bit too fragmented to be a full-fledged push, and we're on the verge of 10-2 right now, but this is the most kitted that Fairfield's been all game.
Most kitted they've been all game, and it's going to be the final round of the half. Their only chance to get this 9-3 going and see if they can mount the defense on the other side, but a lot of Hall's presence right now, and they're going to find one off of it. It's Fatty, opens it up. Kaz is now gone. We're going to have the ability to play around this door, perhaps pinch the players on site. But no, Moist going to be denying it so far. If they can find another, it's going to fully shut this down. But no, Grifter actually going to find the kill there. Going to apply some pressure here onto Lavender, but they're unawares! Stormy looks the way up mid, and Salem not going to find the op shot.
Yeah, and the spike was stuck behind pyramids. Lavender was stuck in a sandwich there for a second because there were two in the tunnel there. But the second they pushed forward, Lavender knew that all they had to do was assault Cave. They had enough knowledge to push through, get those 2 kills, and finish things off on what little of an A push was left. Double digits for Georgetown, only 3 rounds away from succeeding. And now that they're on the defense, I mean, they won the first 3 rounds of the first swap. What's to stop them from doing it again?
Yeah, and right now this is kind of looking like what we saw from them in their previous matchup yesterday. In terms of Fairfield versus Georgetown, went 13-4 in Georgetown's favor. It was an off-stream match, but I don't quite know the details of it, but this is kind of looking like a very similar story here. Fairfield almost has some advantages in these rounds, has some ability to do something, but then gets repelled by some heroic plays from Lavender, or even other members of Georgetown really stepping up. And right now it's going to be on Horatio to stop this play. Going to be TPing out and trying to get something done late in the round.
Oh, Kaz once more doing some damage with the Headhunter. Has to reload so Laughing can trade it out on that attack. Sorry, defense. Excuse me. Issue another kill. The spike has been planted. They have to find a way in. Ooh, Moist can trade out again. 3v3. Mike is still ticking down.
Gotta go.
Grifter is moving in through the corner. Oh, no, that's going to do it. Georgetown, that first attack. We'll take it.
This is looking like a victory parade here for Georgetown as they're going to be going into this anti-eco. And Fairfield not even opting to force buy. There's no Spectres, no Bulldogs, no armor. They're conceding this round almost. It feels like anyways. Feels like they're conceding this round and just giving up to the 12-2 and try to come back with a full buy, try to win the bonus. It's not like it's an awful decision, but it is one you have to swallow. You're swallowing, we're going to go to overtime if we want to take this map. We have to go to overtime instead of trying to force right there.
Leader is 23-7 right now. Could they make that KDA even better? Very much so. There's 2 rounds at the least left to do that. Attacks packed in towards east site through Cave. Owl Drone finds Laughing on one side, but does it see Salem on the other? No. That takes Lavender's body. Voice can trade it back out. I'll 4v3 through that Venom screen, and with a shorty Grifter, make it a 3v2. Fatty can trade things out once again on the defense from behind pyramids. Finds 2. Now just has Pang to deal with. Pang can find that with the Vandal they've now found, and now it's just Horatio.
Yep.
Spike is still in the hands of Pang. This could be an easy rotation.
Pang does have the ability to play some mind games here with Horatio. It's not done and dusted just yet. And going to be going onto the B site. Horatio playing it slow around A, not wanting to give up
30 seconds
free play on A site. Going to be retaking on B. This 1v1 is going to come down to where does this post plant come in from Pang? It's planted for that nest position, and that's exactly where Pang is going to be heading over to. They're now in B main, might go windows. But I don't know if Horatio has time to clear all these angles confidently. He's going to have to kind of guess. In this Vandal versus Bulldog matchup, I'm not putting that in the favor of Horatio.
Still more intense than your standard run-of-the-mill second round on a swap. Gotta say that at the very least. Horatio clearing all the corners they can before time runs out. First bluff, Pang peeks out. Neither can really find any damage. A second bluff. Horatio is running low on time. Pang can just spray. Jiggle peek it out till the time runs low, but wantonly finds the pick regardless. Match point now for Georgetown.
Yeah, and looking like Fairfield will not be getting those 4 rounds they got in their previous match, but now it's going to be kind of a bonus, but all of Georgetown now has full Vandals up and running, so it's not even a bonus. They don't even have that luxury of going against those Spectres or those Bulldogs. Instead, it's going to be a full buy round, and I am not so certain that Fairfield is going to be able to repel this one. It's going to be a lot of Cave all ready to start the round, and some Kaz lurking through mid. Shock Dart's down, or the Recon Dart is down, so they don't have info on site, but the dash in, and that's going to be their death!
Oh, Stormy and Kaz can finish things off on the front lines. Georgetown, they're looking to end things now. Grifter on bridge up top. Akaz has the sightline. Grifter still wins the peak war. Behind the toxic screen. Spike can get planted for free, but now comes the fight. On top of those steps on the sideline, Horatio falls to Moist through double doors. It's only Grifter left around the pyramids. Does find Moist, but Stormy's peeking around the other side of the pyramids. Another 13-2 dub for Georgetown, now sitting at 3-0.
Yeah, gonna be sitting at that 3-0 right now. I believe, yeah, gonna be super well ahead in this prelim, in these qualifications, and it's kind of just what we've seen from them before yesterday. They've been extremely consistent in their ability to shut down opposing teams and just get their work done. And for Fairfield, they've had a rough go of it so far in this journey, and that's not going to end today. So
God.
I kind of want to see... There's some good things, right, from Fairfield? There's some good things that you see. You're not just seeing a team fall over and give everything away. It's just kind of in the mid to late rounds, they kind of fall apart at times. It would seem in those situations where they have advantages, they can't really utilize them to their fullest.
I just can't get over the fact that Lavender had a 3 KD. That is absolutely ridiculous. 24-8. She is an absolute monster. But so is the rest of Georgetown, of course. A massive 13-2 win to take dub number 3 in this group stage. When we come back, the other 2 teams in the group, your 1-1 teams, Marist and Canisius, will duke it out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.